The Circulatory System, presented by Berley and Meghann. The purpose of the circulatory system is responsible for transporting materials throughout the entire body. It transports nutrients, water, and oxygen to your billions of body cells and carries away waste such as carbon dioxide that body cells provide. Why does the body need the circulatory system? The circulatory system brings the body's cells what they need to survive: oxygen and nutrients. The center of the circulatory or cardiovascular system is the heart, a powerful pump organ designed to beat many millions of times over the lifetime of an organism. The heart circulates blood throughout the veins and arteries. Arteries carry oxygen-rich blood away from the heart, providing it to tissues, then returning the depleted red blood cells back to the heart through the veins for reoxygenation. We need the circulatory system because without that we would have no blood in our body. We would not get the nutrients we need, and we would not be living without the heart. Please enjoy this video. It will answer why the body needs the circulatory system, also how it works and what it does in our body. Enjoy!
Your heart is a pump. It's a muscular organ about the size of your fist and is located slightly left of center in your chest. Your heart is divided into the right and left side. The division protects oxygen-rich blood from mixing with oxygen-poor blood. Together, your heart and blood vessels comprise your cardiovascular system, which circulates blood and oxygen around your body. In fact, your heart pumps about 5 quarts of blood every minute, and it beats about 100,000 times in one day. That's about 35 million times in a year. Oxygen-poor blood, blue blood, returns to the heart after circulating through your body. The right side of the heart, composed of the right atrium and ventricle, collects and pumps the blood to the lungs through the pulmonary arteries. The lungs refresh the blood with a new supply of oxygen, making it turn red. Oxygen-rich blood, red blood, then enters the left side of the heart, composed of the left atrium and ventricle, and is pumped through the aorta to the body to supply tissues with oxygen. 4 valves within your heart keep your blood moving the right way. The tricuspid, mitral, pulmonary, and aortic valves work like gates on a fence. They open only one way and only when pushed on. Each valve opens and closes once per heartbeat, or about once every second. A beating heart contracts and relaxes. Contraction is called systole, and relaxing is called diastole. During systole, your ventricles contract, forcing blood into the vessels going to your lungs and body, much like ketchup being forced out of a squeeze bottle. The right ventricle contracts a little bit before the left ventricle does. Your ventricles then relax during diastole and are filled with blood coming from the upper chambers, the left and right atria. Then the cycle starts over again. Your heart is nourished by blood too. Blood vessels, called coronary arteries, extend over the surface of your heart and branch into smaller capillaries. Here you can see just the network of blood vessels that feed your heart with oxygen-rich blood. Your heart also has electrical wiring, which keeps it beating. Electrical impulses begin high in the right atrium and travel through specialized pathways to the ventricles, delivering the signal to pump. The conduction system keeps your heart beating in a coordinated and normal rhythm, which in turn keeps blood circulating. The continuous exchange of oxygen-rich blood with oxygen-poor blood is what keeps you alive.
Major organs of the circulatory system. The heart. The heart is a vitally important organ made of strong muscle tissues and is protected by the rib cage. It is about the size of your fist and sits slightly to the left of the middle of your chest. The heart is one of the only organs in the circulatory system, but it is one of the most important organs in your entire body. This essential organ consists of 4 hollow chambers, 2 atria, plural from atrium, on top and 2 ventricles below them. These chambers work like pumps. Their job is to push blood through the body. The blood flows into the heart through the atria and out through the ventricles. At the exit of each of the chambers, there is a valve that ensures that the blood flows in the correct direction when it is leaving. Blood vessels. Picture a tree. A tree begins with the trunk and then separates into the strongest and most sturdy branches. Gradually, the branches branch out and get thinner and smaller until the very small tips. You can relate formation of blood vessels to the layout of a tree. Imagine the heart as the trunk. The blood vessels closest to the heart are like the thickest branches. They are the arteries and veins. They are most durable. There are 3 types of blood vessels: arteries, veins, and capillaries. Each type of vessel performs a specific function of the circulation of blood through the human body. The arteries are the vessels that carry nutrient and oxygen-rich blood away from the heart and deliver it to all of the parts of the body. They have the strongest walls because they must contain the high-pressure, oxygen-filled red blood cells. The thickest artery is the largest blood vessel in the entire body, the aorta. This is the artery connected to the left ventricle that takes freshly oxygenated blood away from the heart. It begins with as the width of a quarter and then branches out into smaller arteries. Diseases of the circulatory system. One of the most common diseases of the circulatory system is arteriosclerosis, in which the fatty deposits in the arteries cause the walls to stiffen and thicken the walls. The causes are a buildup of fat, cholesterol, and other material in the artery walls. This can restrict blood flow or, in severe cases, stop it altogether, resulting in a heart attack or stroke. A stroke involves blockage of the blood vessels to the brain and is another major condition of the circulatory system. Risk factors include smoking, diabetes, and high cholesterol. Another circulatory disease, hypertension, commonly called high blood pressure, causes the heart to work harder and can lead to such complications as a heart attack, a stroke, or kidney failure. An aortic aneurysm occurs when the aorta is damaged and starts to bulge or eventually tear, which can cause severe internal bleeding. This weakness can be presented at birth or the result of arteriosclerosis, obesity, high blood pressure, or a combination of these conditions. Peripheral arterial disease, also known as PAD, typically involves areas narrowing or blockage within an artery. In addition, chronic venous insufficiency, also known as CVI, involves areas reflux or backward flow within the superficial veins of the lower extremities. It is diagnosed with non-invasive testing including ultrasound, CT scan, and or MRI. Ultrasound is the least expensive of these methods, but also gives the least amount of detail. A CT scan and MRI show a much higher degree of anatomic detail. What can CCAs do in order to help clients with a hypertension disorder? Well, as CCAs, we should help the clients by monitoring their blood pressure. The normal is around 140/60. If your blood pressure increases and stays high, you're at risk for a stroke. 180/90 would be considered very high. We can, as CCAs, ensure they're eating a healthy diet that helps decrease their blood pressure. Please watch this video for more information for how to help monitor hypertension, the silent killer.
Hypertension. As health conditions go, it's often misunderstood. Because it doesn't make you feel bad, people tend to overlook its seriousness.
Well, hypertension is often known as the silent killer because most patients have no symptoms at all.
Doctors take hypertension very serious. It can be fatal, leading to heart attack and stroke. But you can take steps to control your blood pressure. First, be informed. Pay attention to your numbers.
True hypertension is when the blood pressure is consistently over 140/90. There's a term called prehypertension when the systolic pressure, the high number, is between 121 and 139, and when the diastolic pressure, the lower number, is between 80 and 89.
These numbers serve as notice that it's time to change. Step 2, look at your lifestyle.
So asking patients to lose weight, to reduce the salt, reduce their alcohol intake. Those are all things that are very effective in lowering blood pressure and preventing them from needing medicines.
Step 3 may seem like a no-brainer, but it's not. Getting blood pressure under control may require medication. If your doctor advises it, it's important patients stick to the program.
When they've got severe or stage 2 hypertension, then we generally will start with at least 2 drugs and then add to that to control the pressure. However, if they made major lifestyle changes, it is possible that they could actually lower their blood pressure and get off medicines.
Generally speaking, hypertension is a lifelong illness, but following these simple steps help you control the disease so it doesn't control you. For Lee Memorial Health System, I'm Amy Osher.
A great diet for people with hypertension. Well, we have found that the DASH diet has been known to lower your risk of coronary artery disease and stroke. And the DASH diet lowers blood pressure because it has less salt and sugar than the typical American diet. It cuts out desserts, sweetened beverages, fats, red meats, and processed meats. So if you have major high blood pressure, this would be a good diet to follow. So it starts with grains, 7 to 8 daily servings. For breakfast, it could be 1 slice of bread, half a cup cooked rice or pasta, or 1 ounce dry cereal. Vegetables, 4 to 5 daily servings, 1 cup raw leafy greens, and a half a cup cooked vegetables. Fruits, 4 to 5 daily servings, 1 medium fruit, half a cup fresh or frozen fruit, 1/4 cup dried fruit, or 6 ounces fruit juice. Low-fat or fat-free dairy products, 2 to 3 daily servings, so 8 ounces of milk, 1 cup of delicious yogurt, 1.5 ounces of cheese. Lean meat, poultry, and fish, 2 or fewer servings a day, 3 ounces cooked meat, poultry, or fish. Nuts, seeds, and legumes, 4 to 5 servings per week. 1/3 cup nuts, 2 tablespoons seeds, half a cup cooked dry beans or peas. Fat and oils, 2 to 3 daily servings, 1 teaspoon vegetable oil or soft margarine, 1 tablespoon low-fat mayonnaise, 2 tablespoons light salted dressing, and sweets, less than 5 servings per week. Thank you guys for watching our video on the circulatory system, courtesy of Meghann and Berley.